In 2018, a Chinese scientist genetically edited the embryos of twin girls and made them smarter. With the advance of artificial intelligence and the growth in computing power, we might finally be able to grow babies in artificial wombs. Some say artificial wombs will finally allow infertile couples to conceive. Others think it's immoral, wrong, and it damages the special bond between a mother and her baby. However, according to scientists, an artificial womb facility like this one could be possible in the next 10 years if there were no ethical boundaries. So, are artificial wombs a dream come true or a nightmare waiting to happen? In the 1500s, Paracelsus, a Swiss alchemist of the German Renaissance, was the first to outline a method for growing a human in a lab. He called it homunculus. The homunculus, according to 16th century science, would be grown from male semen that's sealed inside a pot known as a cucurbit. The pot would then be placed in warm, fermenting horse dung for 40 days. Then the semen will have transformed into a little transparent man that needs to be nurtured for 40 weeks with human blood and food. The little man needs to be kept in a horse's womb for even heat. And after the 40 weeks, a living human child will grow from it. From today's scientific standpoint, these methods seem silly and foolish, but Paracelsus planted the seed for artificially growing babies, a seed that flowered in the head of Emanuel M. Greenberg. July 22, 1954, a thin envelope reached the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Inside there were two images from Emanuel M. Greenberg. In the first, you could see that Emanuel outlined the creation of an artificial womb. His goal was to help immature newborns develop outside the mother's womb using a tank filled with amniotic fluid, blood pumps, an artificial kidney, and a water heater. The U.S. Patent Office granted Greenberg the patent on November 15, 1955. 68 years later, in 2023, filmmaker Hashem Al-Ghaili posted this video on YouTube. Ectolife, as the filmmaker has named this artificial womb facility, will be capable of growing 30,000 babies in artificial wombs. Although just a concept, many experts believe this facility could become a reality in 10 years if certain ethical guidelines are removed. According to Metro newspaper in the UK, thanks to CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing tool, you can edit any trait of your baby through a wide range of over 300 genes. The filmmaker envisions parents choosing from an elite package of choices where they get to decide the baby's IQ, strength, skin tone, height, and even the color of their eyes. Thanks to gene editing technology, parents could forever fix any genetic diseases or illnesses the baby might have inherited. But still, this is just a concept. How far are we from creating a facility with see-through artificial wombs where parents could monitor the baby's growth through a live feed on their phone? If you enjoyed this video so far, please support my channel by leaving a like. Thank you. According to The Economist, artificial wombs are not just another sci-fi cliche. Every year, 1 million premature babies die in the harsh environment of an incubator. While incubators save a lot of babies, half of those born at 24 weeks do not survive incubators. The infant's lungs aren't sufficiently developed to breathe air, so an incubator stripped of the amniotic fluid is extremely hostile to these babies. Since 2020, an elite team of scientists has taken on the immense task of building an artificial womb. They were inspired by an experiment conducted at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, which successfully created an artificial womb that fully developed a baby lamb in 2017. The team of researchers placed a baby lamb in the artificial womb and were wondering if it would survive. Fortunately, the lamb not only survived, but it thrived. Over the course of 4 weeks, it gained weight, grew a wool coat, and opened its eyes. Encouraged by their initial success, the team of scientists repeated the procedure with 8 more lamb fetuses, and all were successful. Thanks to this groundbreaking discovery, the researchers were looking to apply the same principles learned from the experiment and hopefully sustain premature born babies. Professor of Cardiovascular Biomechanics Frans van de Vos from Eindhoven University of Technology in the Netherlands is leading a team of engineers and scientists hoping to revolutionize the incubator. They are looking to create a liquid-filled environment protecting the baby from the most dangerous substance on the planet, air. Since the baby's lungs are not fully developed, the challenge is creating an artificial womb that closely resembles the natural environment found in the mother's womb. To achieve this, the team of scientists must model and follow nature's examples. However, unlike the scientists who could use live baby lambs, the researchers from the Netherlands rely on computer mapping and silicone babies to predict what could happen. So, just like the weatherman can predict the weather using computers, Professor Van de Vos wants to predict what will happen in the cardiovascular system of the baby without risking the life of a human baby. So basically, just like a flight simulator helps pilots learn to fly, these silicone babies and the computer maps will help scientists predict what will happen to the baby inside the artificial womb. Despite all their advances, one problem remains: transferring the fetus from the mother's uterus to the artificial womb. The umbilical cord provides the baby with much-needed nutrients and oxygen, among other biomechanical and immunological things. And it's precisely the umbilical cord that causes problems when transferring the 24-week-old fetus from the mother's womb into the artificial. That's why the team of scientists invented something called a liquid tunnel. With this device, the baby goes from liquid to liquid and the umbilical cord can be cut freely. But this is the bigger problem. Failing to attach the umbilical cord to the artificial placenta in just a few minutes could result in permanent brain damage due to the lack of oxygen. Inside the perinatal life support system, the artificial womb is connected to an amniotic fluid dialyzer, which purifies the baby's liquid, while the artificial placenta, or the oxygenator, connects to the baby's umbilical cord, taking out the CO2-rich blood and supplying O2-rich blood to the baby. The ultimate goal is to create a womb where premature babies have an increased chance of survival even when born at 24 weeks. Concerns have been raised regarding the ethnicity of this process, but the scientists assure everyone that this technology cannot be used to grow babies without the mother. They are not aiming to create a better way to grow human babies. Professor Van de Vos is simply trying to improve the incubator and increase the survivability rates of premature babies as a result. But what if they do the same as a group of scientists from China who genetically enhance the intelligence of babies? In 2018, Chinese scientist He Zhonghui used CRISPR technology to delete a gene known as CCR5 in the embryos of two twin girls, which would prevent them from contracting HIV. But something unexpected happened. By removing this gene, the intelligence and memory of the twins were enhanced. Removing the CCR5 gene in mice made them smarter. On top of that, the removal of CCR5 improved human recovery after stroke and could translate to better success at school. The medical community was repulsed by the news, condemning He's attempt for its philosophical and physiological consequences. This act got him sentenced to 3 years in prison. Today, he is out and still working in a lab, saying that the human embryo gene editing will one day be accepted. Attempts like these have made the medical community extremely cautious. Building pods with see-through shells and trying to grow babies inside machines seems ignorant. Because, as professor of obstetrics at King's College London, Andrew Shannon, told an interviewer from HuffPost, inside the mother's womb there are, quote, all sorts of biomechanical and immunological things that go on that we probably don't understand yet. On top of that, removing the special and emotional bond that exists between a mother and her baby could have serious societal consequences. Because, as someone once said, what comes easily can be easily left. Here's another video people enjoyed watching. This is AI Exposed, demystifying the world of artificial intelligence, one video at a time.